Hello and welcome to GRL comms for this evening, for tonight. This is round number 3, and we've got a reverse sprint 35% race tonight, where basically the drivers of of the championship, who are doing well in the championship, will be placed in reverse grid order. So, for instance, Nice Job will start last, with Tom Go Proof or Prof also with him at the back, if he's here, which I don't think he is. So Fate would be then the next person to join him at the back, followed by Shay or Fate. Shay, so it would be Shay at the back then with Nice Job. Then just working out. Also, Fate will be starting P19. Is Tom here? Let's have a look. Don't see him. He probably could be, but yeah, don't see Tom. I don't think he is. But yeah, basically be a reverse grid of the championship. Basically order. And anyone new, obviously driving tonight, will, I imagine, be placed somewhere towards the front of the grid then, I suppose. And yeah, it'll be a 5% race, so 25 laps around the Jose Carlos Pace circuit of Sao Paulo. And of course, it's a very nice track, obviously one of Senna's home races, because I'm pretty sure there was another Brazilian race somewhere in Brazil at some point. I can't remember where. Weren't in Rio, I don't think. I'm not actually too sure. Pretty sure there was another Brazilian race somewhere in the country. But yeah, the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace is obviously been the current one ever since, for a long, long time now. And obviously one of the most infamous races in the Formula One calendar of them all then here. So 35% reverse grid. What more could you ask for? Should be an exciting race. No qualifying, so I don't expect it to be too long. The stream tonight, probably only maybe 40 minutes, 40 to 50 minutes. The stream at max, which is pretty nice for everyone. So if that's the case, should be able to watch Wimbledon. And I love Wimbledon tennis, absolutely fantastic. But we're not here to talk about Wimbledon. We're here to talk about this GRL race. And if you are new to the stream, then obviously a subscribe wouldn't go without a miss. Plus, also I've left a link down in the Discord, in the live chat, where if you obviously are completely new, you can obviously go and click on it, and they race. Well, GRL, they race every week on a Saturday at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. UK time, of course, and yeah, put on 2 amazing races in both the casual and the advanced division. The advanced division is a bit more aimed towards those drivers with a bit more higher skill level, let's say, and the casual is obviously, kind of in the name, more aimed towards the people who are a bit more, I wouldn't say amateurish at the game, but a bit more, for a casual, not so highly skilled sort of drive, let's say, But to be fair, we had pretty good racing in the casual division, and we're about to go to 5 red lights then, and it is lights out now, and away we go then. So TG Alfie is on pole, followed by Godzilla, then 24, followed by Matthias down into the first corner. They all go as they all hurdle their way down through turns 1 and 2 and 3. Looks like a pretty clean start from them all then, which is very nice to see. No real drama at the back, with I think only one car spun around. I'm not really too sure. We do have a yellow flag out for Fate, so yeah, Fate's around at the back of the grid then there, but you know, he will be certainly, well, last time I saw him was a very quick driver, so we're looking to get up through the field. And this is the trouble with 35% races and with, obviously, sprint races. You've got, like, you've got drivers who are, you know, sort of a bit out of position, of course, for this race, who will be looking to come through the field. But obviously, in doing so, we're going to have to make the passes very cleanly and battle with, you know, potentially slower drivers, you know, during this race, you know, to get up there. And on the other side of it, for bonus, obviously, you've got drivers who aren't, you know, usually starting in these positions, you know, getting the experience of leading a race. For instance, TGT Alfie setting the fastest lap already on those medium tyres with a 1:15.8. So he crosses the line, leads away from TNR Matthias. Matthias then follows him down through turn 3, going down into turn 4. No DRS on this second lap of the race, but he's obviously currently within that 1 second window. So next lap he will be within the DRS and will be able to potentially capitalise on that. As Godzilla currently third, a little bit back from Get Noted and Go Slow in 5th, then 6th. As we've now got a virtual safety car. Is it a virtual or is it a full? It's a virtual. So a virtual safety car then for this race. First one of the day. Last time I had a virtual safety car, it turned into a full. And yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. So TGT Alfie leads the way then, and he will lead a second lap then in this race, which for him, obviously, in a sense, this virtual safety car has helped him out because, you know, Matthias was right on the gearbox of that Williams car, and of course, you know, Matthias, you know, would have had DRS this lap, would have been able to enable that and potentially get back. Also, the other thing it helps Alfie out with here in the fight for the lead is the fact he can just save a bit of ERS, you know, and ultimately, you know, for him, doesn't have to use any more of his battery pack than required here. So, yeah. In terms of a championship leader, obviously, it's Nice Job, I believe, currently at the moment. Let me just double check on that. As Pilavidas dropping down the field then here on this safety car restart. And, yeah, he is on also the softs. So, not ideal for him to be dropping down the rankings on the soft tyres. But anyway, back to the leader, and the leader has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Oh no, a drive-through time penalty. So that's bad news for his race. Will he come in to serve it straight away? He doesn't have to serve it for the first 3 laps, but chooses to come into the pits anyway. And we have got another virtual safety car then. So Matthias takes the lead from Yaza Godzilla. Yeah, I think that's Godzilla. Godzilla. You know, the Aston Martin driver of Yaza 44. No, that's a weird name. Anyway, Get Noted in P3. Go Slow is 4th. Then, you know, Tazan, you know, I don't think I've seen him or commentated on him. Just call him the Alfa Romeo driver for now, till we learn some of these names. Shay is in 6th. Nice Job 7th. Chartman 8th so far. As Chipchina is in 9th, and well anyway 10th. Haytham in 11th. Pilavidas in then 13th. Fate is in 13th. Pilavidas is in 12th, sorry. True Lock is in 14th, and Alfie now down to 15th. As we get back to racing then, back to the green. Then here for round number 3, and it is Matthias that leads the way, and has he picked up a drive-through? Oh my days, what's going on with some of these drivers tonight? Drive-throughs for a lot of them, and both Red Bull drivers have got a drive-through, as now the Aston Martin takes the lead. So, Yaza Godzilla, I think that's how I'm going to pronounce his name for now, or Gozalia, takes then the lead as Get Noted then is in currently P2, and Go Slow is P3. Those are your current top 3 drivers at the moment. Go Slow is a bit further off these two, but Get Noted really applying the pressure now in the AlphaTauri. But look at Lachey, who, you know, is so far so good, up into 5th. Previous winner of the last race, down the inside he goes. Has to be a bit forceful there with the Alfa Romeo driver, but can he now go around the outside? He's going to have to go the long way around if he wants to make it stick. You bet he can. Indeed he does. And that is Shea up into P4. This man, he came back from 6 months out and is currently just doing incredible stuff. He is, I believe, the only other championship winner, like, between, like, well, that broke Tom's run in the league. But can he even get 2 cars here? Go Slow goes to the outside. On Getting Noted then pushes Slow a little bit around the outside. Good view, actually, of this from Shea's point of view, as Shea now goes around the outside, and Shea will go also around the outside of Slow, and that is Shea up into P2. Incredible stuff. Slow almost tagging the back of Shea's car. That would have been a disappointment if he did do that, because, you know, you got to back out, lads. Win needs must. And Get Noted, out of all that, comes still out ahead of Slow in P3, but Slow is using up Noted is using up so much of his battery pack compared to Slow then here. But look at Shea. It's an Aston Martin 1 and 2. Obviously, these are reserve drivers, I believe. So, obviously, for Shea, he obviously, as a reserve, isn't assigned to a team, which for him, you know, obviously, well, his teammate won't really matter too much here, as he will just focus on himself, and focusing on himself he does, and he has come literally from, well, where did he start? He certainly would have been one of the drivers who started further down the field. Let's have a look. Where did he start? He's up 12 positions, so coming from 12 to take the lead of this Grand Prix, and is now in control. And is he going to do just what he did last week, race off into the distance? I think he might. But yeah, the 2 further behind fighting now for 3rd. This is where we'll focus and our attention now. Back to the battle for P3. Because these are the drivers who currently fighting it out. Now, Slow, having a decent race. I think he's certainly going to be one of the drivers who looking to get a podium today out of all this sprint action. You know, can he do that? Well, I'm not too sure, but he's dropped a bit off here, off the back of Noted, but he's still within the DRS, crucially, getting a bit of a poor exit out of the final corner, so that's not going to help his, you know, aim here, as he will plough down then the main straight, as he's going to have to focus from attack from behind, so he's still going to have to defend a little bit here into turn 1, as the Alfa Romeo driver gets very close to the back of the Ferrari. But now, can he just get a good exit and focus and start to attack from the front instead? Well, you know, I think he's going to be a bit too far back to make a move into turn 4, unless he really sends a lunge and doesn't go and do it, obviously, from that far back, which is fair enough, a smart job. As nice job, the current championship leader then, currently sat P6, a nice job. Well, he just walked through there. He literally walked through his opponent. Didn't overtake his opponent. He walked through his opponent. And is up now into P5. So, yeah. Nice job up into P5. Next up for him is Slow, who, you know, right now, currently doing a decent job in 4th. And this could be another move for Nice Job, who will be looking to try and protect his championship advantage. And around the outside he goes. Can he get Noted then here as a Slow on the on the inside, trying to, you know, keep the position, but in the same time Noted gets all wonky out of turn 3. and is now behind the Alpine driver of Nice Job. So Nice Job up into third, and Nice Job doing a very nice job indeed. And yeah, overall, that will be good for his championship point score, as True Lock is out of the session, and that has triggered a third virtual safety car during this race. Now, I do wonder, is this now the time for Shea to give up those soft tyres and maybe just, go on to the hards or the mediums? 15 laps roughly there is till the end, or 16 laps. Isn't an unrealistic run on hards or mediums. Let's see what he does. He does dive into the pits, and what tyres will he go on to? That is now the bigger question. Is he going to go on to the hards, or is he going to go on to the mediums? Which ones does he think he can get to the end? I personally think he could do both. What is he going to put on though? I think he's gone on to the mediums. He has gone on to the mediums. And yeah, I did think he can do both. I think, you can get the mediums to the end. This isn't a particularly high tyre wear deg track. So ultimately, that's a wise stop, and he will come out in a bit of traffic, but we've seen how he's got through the traffic today. Literally, it's like a knife cutting through bread and butter. Absolutely fantastic his overtaken's been today. And remember, he's had 6 months out. That's the most impressive thing, I think, of it all. Obviously, he came back last week, won the race. This week, well, he's currently our net race leader. So, yeah, as we're going to watch him go around the outside. Can he go dancing around the outside? No, not quite. Going to have to be a bit patient here for Shea. As Matthias gets a big snap of oversteer, and Matthias will have to come back on and gets another big snap of oversteer as well at the same time. But now Shea's all over the rear wing of Fate and will be also all over the rear of Haytham. So here comes Shea on the inside. Can he get 2 cars at once? I think he will get 2 cars at once. He has got 2 cars at once, as Shea now moves up into 8th. And Shea then will be back up into 8th. Comes out ahead of his teammate, who's also now made his pit stop. And his teammate will come out behind, obviously, the Haas drivers, and will come out behind Matthias and a bit further down the back of the grid then there. But yeah, Shea doing tremendous work then here. As I say, it's like watching a knife cut through bread and butter. That is what it's like watching at the moment with Shea. And, literally, I know I'm literally just giving Shea all the airtime. As you just see, he goes around the outside of Chartman, literally doing a move in literally nearly an impossible place to get the overtake done. And that was just fantastic from Shea to go around the outside there of Shea. Fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. And now he's on the back of GRL anyway. So, anyway, is his next victim in line. And here goes then on anyway. And this will be easy into turn 1. And he is through indeed. So he's already up into 6th. And look at the gap also between Nice Job and Shea. It's only 9.7 seconds. So, yeah, those... for Shea, this is brilliant, because Shea is literally going to be well and truly when Nice Job makes his pit stop, his one and only pit stop, his mandatory stop, he is going to be well and truly behind Shea by a good, maybe 11 seconds, maybe. Something like this. It's going to be certainly a lot bigger of a gap. So, just like last week, it's going to be a near impossible gap to close down. But is Nice Job's fight with Shea today? Maybe not. That may be the, slight thing for Nice Job here, because obviously Nice Job's fight is probably just getting a podium and getting maybe P2. Maybe fighting with 44 Godzilla is going to be his fight here. So, yeah, that will be the fight for Nice Job, as we'll go back to get noted. And these 3 are still battling away, but they've got literally Shea breathing down their neck in P5, as Shea's already up into P5. And here they go then. So, get noted is getting a note from the Alfa Romeo driver of Tanzo. You know, but yeah, pushed a little bit wide and get noted. Then is now down to P3 as Go Slow is going to be the next one who will want to serve, get noted, a small post-it note sort of thing, you know. But yeah, get noted and Slow have a little bit of a touch of wheels, and noted comes off a little bit better than there, but these three find really close and really hard. And whilst they're doing this, obviously Shay is coming into the picture. You can just see there's Shay already in the background, and yeah, Shay is absolutely on a charge here. Shay's literally making it just look so easy. There's just no man gets a penalty then for corner cutting, and there's contact between Get Noted and the Alfa Romeo. That is tragic between them. It's obviously going to be, you know, going to the stewards, that one. But now Slow has an opportunity to take off, well, to take the podium here away from the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo already in the walls, and Slow is now ahead of the Alfa Romeo driver, who I imagine is going to get, well, certainly investigated after the race alongside Get Noted. That one definitely going to the stewards, I would have thought, as now Shay, the net race leader, is going to literally have to come through these three. And these three are a very fighty bunch. As we can see, look how aggressive the Alfa Romeo is there. That's a bit unnecessary, I think, personally. You know, you're fighting a driver who is, you know, just in a league of his own at the moment. And really, why? Just why? I mean, look, I know I don't support a driver in this league, but if I did support one, it'd have to be Shay. And literally, why you do that, mate? Why? You've just literally killed two drivers' races within the space of a lap. This Alfa Romeo driver has. Disgusting, you know, absolutely disgusting racing that is, you know. And he's fighting now the Ferrari here, and yeah, it's just over aggressive driving from the Alfa Romeo. Then Slow back pass up into second. He's got the speed, no questioning that. He's got the speed for sure, but ultimately, you know, there's one thing having the speed, but you need to be clean. That's the one thing I like to see, you know, is clean, honest racing. You know, like, yeah, you're still probably going to lose to Shay, like, but you've just made, you've almost ruined a driver's race for bloody what? Literally, absolutely nothing. Anyway, back to the racing then, and the Alfa Romeo driver will have the DRS here. Will have also a bit more ERS to expend out his battery pack. Then, as we do have a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2, now just in 2, and we'll go through on the inside then. And again, more contact. He just keeps making contact. Surely you can just keep it clean, you know, through there, literally. Like, not make contact, mate. You know, it's not hard. Surely it's not hard. Or I don't think it's hard. But anyway, and this time makes even more contact and almost spins himself. So, you know, making a lot of contact in this race for the Alfa Romeo driver, who's currently in P2, P3, sorry. As a nice job is currently P1. And Shay is still our net race leader in this race, but he will probably go on to the softs. I'm not sure when he'll put the softs on. He's already had about 15 laps on those mediums, so I imagine it'll be soon. So, will it be this lap? No. Is the answer then to that. We'll go back down then to these three. And, right, Shay's already onto the back of them. How will Shay deal with this time around? The Alfa Romeo and then the Aston Martin. And, oh no. What is he doing? Why is he driving like this? Why do drivers do this? You know, I mean, yeah, this is literally despicable. You know, from the Alfa Romeo, despicable driving. Why is he driving like an absolute bellend? And now Shea is finally through. Oh no! Why? Look. This type of driver needs kicking out. You know what I mean. Like it's ruining. It ruins the stream. It ruins everything. Like you know what I mean. Like I can't stand drivers like that, literally. But nice job doing a nice job out front. You know. Let's see any more battles because I am enjoying the battle anyway, sort of thing, I suppose, a little bit, but it's not fun, as well. Like, all that is so late onto the grass then from the Alfa Romeo, so yeah, very disgusting racing then from there. But anyway, other drivers, let's, commentate also on other drivers, because we don't just want to commentate on one driver or two drivers, one driver who is, doing a horrendous job at the moment, but also want to commentate on also others. So GRL anyway, currently in 10th. Let's have a look at some of the other gaps between everyone, and really that what's happened here to Chartman? Chartman's around. That ain't good for him because he was in a decent position, and it is now I think raining. It is raining. Okay, so we've now got rain on the hands. And the Alfa Romeo is off. I'm not sure how he's gone off. I hope someone didn't, take him out. And, that is, talk about, I think he's retired on track or he's done something. He certainly left the session. That's terrible. But anyway, in comes then Slow for intermediate tyres. I don't know whether that's a bit early or not, but for nice job, this has worked out really, really beautiful into his hands then here for nice job because he's got a 17-second buffer, so he can pit really whenever he wants. And in addition to that, not only can he pit whenever he wants, but he can, sort of just, go nice and easy. Doesn't have to be under too much pressure here. And yeah, he's pretty much, for nice job, checked out, I would say. Such a shame for Shea because he would have been no doubt in there. So it now makes sense what a nice job was waiting for. I thought he was taking long to come into the pit lane. And yeah, in he comes then. And he's going to go on to the inters. And for him, this is going to be a day where I thought he would be looking just to sort of do a bit of damage limitation. But it's going to turn into a day of actually extending that championship advantage for nice job. And, for Shea, I think if he can get back into P2, he will take that for himself. So they're all going to go on to the intermediates now. Let's see who's going to be the biggest gainers out of this. So far, Chipchima is so far the biggest improver in this race. He's up to P4 as Fate comes in now, also for his stop, as they all now come into the pit lane. And where's Slow? There's Slow. Slow is currently P2. Now, they do have penalties front two runners, so that should make, obviously, Shea's life a bit easier. I'm not sure how quick he is in these wet conditions. Who knows? Maybe he's even quicker. Maybe he can make up 20 seconds. Only need to make up 15, actually, in order to be battling for P1. But anyway, the Ferrari driver of Chartman, is he on the inters? Indeed he is. And that is a genuine P6 position then there, as he currently got Godzilla, the second of the two Aston Martins, right behind him, right on his gearbox. As Get Noted currently in 8th, ahead of, who's ahead of Alfie. who currently picking up, I believe, the final points paying position. So he will take the final point here from, well, anyway, from Noted, from Godzilla, from Chartman, from Fate, from Chipsina, and from Shay, who currently got a 9-second, well, only needs to close down about 4 more of those seconds in order to get P2, otherwise would be P3. And in terms of Chapman, could be a P5 then again. I'm pretty sure he came P5 in the last race. I can't even remember the last race, even though it was only literally less than, what, an hour ago? So, yeah, like an hour ago, I can't even remember where Chapman finished. I'm pretty sure he got points, I know that. Pretty sure he got like top 6 or top 5. So, you know, he had a very good race and is having a second good race around Brazil. You know, so Brazil seems to be a good one for Chapman today, as Fate currently is in P5 with that 11 seconds. That's huge, because that's going to drop him probably all the way down to at least 7th. So going to lose 2 positions here for Fate, as there's only now 3 laps to go. Currently, nice job leads from Slow from Shay, who currently is just inching into Slow's, you know, that gap, and he's only now got 2.5 seconds to find. I think he should find that, and will find that, wouldn't shock me. So, yeah, Shay is probably going to get P2 here, then, in this race. And that's how that's going to go. Lots of penalties, which could affect things. Obviously, even the final points, no, final point won't be affected, but, you know, there is a lot of penalties, which certainly could affect, you know, the finishing order then here of the race, depending on who gets what. Because right now, Fate is certainly going to be in a spot above her. But anyway, going back on board then with the Ferrari driver of Chartman. Chartman then is on the inside defending here, and a little bit of contact between the two, a little bit of contact between Godzilla and Chartman. Then currently this is a battle for P6 and, well, effectively actually it's a battle for P5. So this is the battle for P5 here, then on the track. And right now Chartman is dived down the inside, gets a little bit tagged from the Aston Martin driver from behind of Godzilla. And that moves Godzilla into the P5 spot, which I believe he would get, as he is currently in 6th, and Chartman is out. So Chartman is out of the race, and that's going to now promote Pilavidas up into the points. So Pilavidas is now in that final points position. I don't know how Chartman DNF'd, but he is out. So Chartman is out. So this is good news for Godzilla, because Godzilla is going to be left to get 5th. But then there's only a second between it. Like, Godzilla really kind of needs to keep within that 6-second window of Fate. Otherwise, he does risk not getting that. As we can see, Shay has really closed up that gap now. But nice job then, is currently starting his 24th tour of the circuit. So only 2 and a bit laps to go for him before he comes around for then what will be his, I think, 2nd win this season. I'm pretty sure it's his 2nd win. I'm going to have a quick look whether it is or it isn't his 2nd win. Yeah, it is his 2nd win. It'll be his 3rd consecutive podium for the Alpine driver. So really is Mr. Consistency this year. For Slow, this will be, I believe, his 1st podium this season, either way. And for Shay, this will be his 2nd podium. However, I will say, Shay, well, in league racing, because it's all, you know, like, how can you put it, you know, equal cars sort of thing, it's like spec cars, it's all about really, during the course of a season, your best, worst result, if that makes sense. A bit like IndyCar, it's all about your best, worst result. So it's not about your best results, it's about your best, worst result. So on the bad days, how bad are those bad days? And that's what it really comes down to in the end. As Shea is going to look to get then the position. He doesn't want to just pick the podium up through the penalty, through that 5 seconds. He wants to take this podium away from Slow and take P2 by the grasps of the hands. Take it with both hands, sort of thing. You know what I'm trying to say, sort of thing. But anyway, nice job leading then his final lap on the final lap of the race here in Brazil. He's got a 20-second gap. I mean, it could have been so much different for him today in terms of how things could have panned out. Obviously, we know what that Alfa Romeo driver did. That was shameful, I think, personally. But he has done an amazing job as well. I can't deny that. Besides the 5-second penalty, that's about the only mistake he's made as well. He did cut through the field very, very nicely on those mediums and is going to come home to take then the second win, his second win of the season. Nice job. Wins then the Brazilian Grand Prix. Shea then coming home P2 as he comes out the final corner, as Go Slow will also finish then off the podiums in P3 then here. So Shea crosses the line now to take P2. Then another amazing drive by Shea. Unfortunate for him as well. Slow comes home P3. Fate then will come home in P4. Or will he? Because Chipachima is going to come home and take, I believe, P4. Yes, he does. For Godzilla, he gets actually 7th, as Get Noted then promoted up into then 6th. Well, anyway, also takes home 7th. Godzilla then comes in 8th. Alfie, the pole sitter, the race, the guy who led the first 2 laps, comes home in P9. And claiming then the final points paying position is Pilavidas, the Greek driver from Greece, takes home P10. And Just No Man finishes off the race. So, that was a interesting sprint. I'm not sure whether it's full points or not. I think it might be. But that was an interesting sprint race, 35%. And you know what? A very enjoyable format, I thought, personally. It was nice to see that the top drivers had to work for it. Meanwhile, also it gave, opportunity to the drivers who might not be up there every week, sort of thing. So, yeah, it was nice to see that, and that was very, very nice. And in terms of my driver of the day, I think it's a very tough one. I'd say Shea. You know why I'm going to say Shea? I think he did, the reason why I'm going to say Shea, because if it wasn't for the entanglement he had with the Alfa Romeo driver, I think he would have won. That's my God honest opinion. And if it was only for that, then yeah, he would have won this race. So yeah, well done to Shea on getting my driver of the day. Anyway, the race rundown then. Nice job, comes home P1 and extends his championship advantage. Shea comes home P2 to take a second podium this season. Slow comes home P3 to take his first podium of the season, as Chipachima comes home in P4. P5, we have Fate. P6, we have Get Noted. P7, well, anyway. P8, Godzilla. P9, Alfie. And P10, Pilavardis, the Greek racing driver for Red Bull Racing. So he will take then the final... we got 2 points then. So he also got fastest lap, which I think will be 3 points, what I read then there. So, yeah. Overall. So, again, if you're new here, there is a link in the Discord channel. Not in the Discord channel, sorry, in the live chat channel on the YouTube. If you want to go join the Discord, become part of GRL, that would be appreciated. I'm sure they'd appreciate that. And obviously, I'm sure they're always looking out for new talents and new drivers. So, yeah, I'm sure, if you want to become part of it, then by all means do. But otherwise, that was GRL, then sprint stream for round 3. I'll be back next week with round 4, then, which will be, just to tell you where it will be next week, it will be Italy then. And in fact, we've got back-to-back Italian Grand Prix next week. So, yeah, when I say next week, back-to-back Italian Grand Prix, in the weeks that follow. I'm not sure which Italian Grand Prix it will be, but it will be Italy. So, yeah, Italy is going to be round 4 and 5, followed by Qatar and then the USA. So, yeah, those, next 4 Grand Prix will be, I'm sure, very, very fun and entertaining indeed. And we've got Qatar in there, so one of the new tracks on the game, so that will be very entertaining indeed as well, coming up soon. So until the next time, this is your commentator, F1ology. I'm your host, sort of thing, your commentator. Anyway, until the next time, have a great day. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and take care. Have a good week. See you all next time.